text from a friend of mine who's a nurse at Preston Hospital, and she titled her text "The Power of Music." The reason being that she'd arrived at work to find the hospital had declared a state of emergency, and so she just put her headphones on, and she got on with her very difficult, challenging work. And I thought, well, I'd like to sort of lend her some support, and so I thought I'd just send her a text and say, "Well done." You can do that. But instead I thought, well, I'll write her a song. I've got some time, and that's what I do. So I sat there in the bar, just scratching away, and I realised there's only a couple of guys at the bar not paying any attention to me at all. So I went up to my room in the hotel, and I got a guitar, and I was sitting there strumming away, and this big, I presume is German, at the bar, he sort of turns around and he says, "Ah, guitar." I said, "Yeah, Beatles songs." "Ah, Beatles songs, good, more beer." That was me sorted for the night. And as far as the Germans know, this is a Beatles song. She grabs a cup of coffee, drops the kids to school, pulls into the car park, but every place is full, so she blows an hour's wages on a public parking lot. That's another little piece of her the government has got. The drivers sit in silence, touching mugs of tea. "What's up?" she said, "No beds," they say. "It's a state of emergency." So she pulls the coat around her, puts her headphones in. There's only room for music underneath this skin. She's a queen of soul, the diva of distress. Compassion makes her whole. She's an angel in a blue, blue dress. A brand new friend is dying. Last night her best friend died. If it wasn't for the music, she knows she would have cried. She knows about the sickness, the loneliness and pain. She knows what doesn't break her will soon come round again. She's a queen of soul, the diva of distress. Compassion makes her whole. She's an angel in a blue, blue dress. She's a queen of soul, the diva of distress. Compassion makes her whole. She's an angel jealous of the sun on your face, that wraps itself around you in your state of grace, jealous of its fingers on your skin, the way it lights your room. Now you won't let me in. I wish I was the sun. I wish I was the sun. I wish I was the sun that lights your life. Jealous of the rain upon your lips, it runs down your shirt and stings your fingertips, jealous of the way it soothes your brow, the way it cools the places I can't go now. I wish I was the rain, I wish I was the rain, I wish I was the rain upon your face. Jealous of the moon that lights your eyes, that falls upon your bed and runs along your thighs, jealous of the secrets that you share up in your bedroom. Now I can't go there. I wish I was the moon, I wish I was the moon, I wish I was the moon upon your night. I wish I was the moon, I wish I was the rain, I wish I was the sun that lights your life. I lived in London for 20 years, but up until 1996 I lived in London. I lived in Devon, in Somerset. I don't live in Devon. Better not get that one wrong, maybe. So this is really just some recollections of times, things that happened when I lived here. It's called My Name is London Town, and I hate that when you're looking at that, tuning one string and actually turning the wrong key. Oh, that's gone up a lot. So I wrote these sort of recollections of my time in London, and when the record came out, it got quite a lot of plays on the radio. Before it entered the annals of history, and I got some emails of complaint, all from the same bloke. He might even be here tonight. I wonder if that day will ever happen, when he's actually there in the audience. It was me. And he complained about a particular line in this song. In fact, he wrote to me 3 times. I thought anybody who gets that upset about a line in the song is clearly dangerous. So I did write back to him. But I won't tell you what he was complaining about, because I find you listen harder that way. But I will ask questions at the end.
struck by the wind coming in from the east that strips the grey river and stretches your skin. I've been choked by the engine and choked by the beast, breathing fire and pollution and pleasure and sin. I'm the choir that goes from St. Catherine's Nose. I'm the choir of the Smithfield fishmonger at dawn. I'm the sharp-suited broker who steals like a fox to the stock exchange floor to sell coffee and corn. My name is London Town. I'm your vision going up, I'm your nightmare coming down. I'm the Westminster Fool, I'm the Pentonville Clown. My name is London Town. I'm the bundle of rags in the Oxford Street doorway, ratted and matted and shivering with cold. I'm the homecoming sunset that lights up the West Way. I'm the Union flag, I'm the red, green and gold. I'm the dome of St. Paul's and the Regent's Park Mosque. I'm the Temple, the Arsenal and White Hart Lane. I'm the bomb in Victoria, the fire at King's Cross. I'm the 9 o'clock dog and the 10 o'clock train. My name is London Town. I'm your vision going up, I'm your nightmare coming down. I'm the Westminster Fool, I'm the Pentonville Clown. My name is London Town. I'm the immigrant town, I'm the city of light, of carousel dreams, of beauty and pain. My streets paved with gold from the bald highway meters, Dick Whittington's ghost in a no-turning lane. My name is London Town. I'm your vision going up, I'm your nightmare coming down. I'm the Whitechapel murderer making his rounds. My name is London Town. My name is London Town. To London to go to the series of rock concerts that they held at the Albert Hall and in this case the Royal Festival Hall. Some of you may have been there too. But on this occasion we went up to watch Joni Mitchell
premiere her Blue album. And by the time we got there, it sold out. But there's days when Dorman had power, and the guy said, "Don't worry, lads, I'll get you in." And he sat us in the choir seats. So I sat from Me to You from Joni Mitchell while she played her Blue album for the first time. And I fell in love with Joni Mitchell, I fell in love with the Blue album, and I fell in love with this instrument that she plays extensively on that record. And I got back home and I had a chat with my other mate, also called Dave, and he said, "Oh, that's an Appalachian dulcimer from the mountains," and he said, "I'll make you one." So as far as I know, this is the only one Dave ever made. So it's number one in a series of one, and it's a tribute to my two pals called Dave. I called it Dave. Dave the dulcimer. And I played Bromsgrove Folk Club a little while back, and the promoter Bob came up to me and said, "Oh, I've got an Appalachian dulcimer as well, but I don't have a name for it." I said, "Well, it's not obligatory, Dave. You don't have to give it a name. It's the first time I've ever named an instrument." And he said, "Oh," and he went away sort of scratching his head. And then at the end of the gig, he came up to me and he said, "I thought of a name for my dulcimer." I said, "Oh, great. What's it going to be?" He said, "Reg." It's nice to think there's a dulcimer in this world named after me. So, the song I'm going to finish this up with is a song called, it's from another song cycle I wrote back in 2018, which we had the great privilege to perform on Thursday night under the hull of the Cutty Sark. We played it to the Fishermen's Society, and we did a gig there. And it's the story of the triple trawler disaster out of Hull in 1968, when 58 men, the crew of 3 different trawlers, all died, all lost their lives in the space of 10 days. And this prompted a local woman called Lillian Balocca, known locally in Hull as Big Lil, for very good reason. If you look her up on YouTube, you'll find Big Lil, a formidable woman. And she got her 3 mates together, and they put on their finest headscarves, and they set off for Parliament. For this reason, they became known as the Headscarf Revolutionaries. And a man called Brian Lavery wrote a book about their exploits, and what they actually achieved in that trip to Parliament became known as the greatest act of civil disobedience of the 20th century. She managed to get 50 restrictions put in place. Up to this point, over 6,000 trawlermen had lost their lives, mostly down to appalling conditions on the ships. So Lil was incredibly effective, and her friends, so quite a hero in the city of Hull. And but when I discovered the story, but hardly anybody had heard of her, and now it's just starting to come to light. Her story's coming to light, and so the song cycle is called 12 Silk Handkerchiefs, and this song, it's the women of Hull didn't work on the boats, and this is down to the superstitions of the seamen, that the women weren't allowed on the boats at all, or anywhere near the boats. So they worked at the fish houses, and they called themselves the fish house women. So you'll have to suspend your disbelief for a moment while I sing "I Am a Fish House Woman." I am a fish house woman, my husband works away, he's a decky on the trawlers, and I work a 9-hour day. My knife is sharp and canny, some say just like my tongue. My mother was a skinner till the freezing took her lung.
in our apron whites like angels, 6 girls to every table. We slice the silver dollars as long as we are able. I lay the kit so pretty, each 2 pounds and a dozen. Warm water in a bucket to keep our hands from frozen. Cut 'em quick, cut 'em clean, keep 'em safe, keep 'em dry. We are born on this road, and upon the ice we die. You'll never get me trolling, not for 1,000 pounds. But our menfolk risk their foolish lives as another boat goes down, while they're fighting for their families. We're fighting for their rights, for the good Lord and the company, to keep 'em safe tonight. With a warm coat wrapped around me, to keep my bones from shaking, and the fellowship of sisters, to keep our hearts from breaking. I am a fish house woman, my husband works away for 3 weeks on the trawlers, and I work a 9-hour day. Cut 'em quick, cut 'em clean, keep 'em safe, keep 'em dry. We are on this road, and upon the ice we die. Cut 'em quick, cut 'em clean, keep 'em safe, keep 'em dry. We are there's a road, and upon the ice we die. I am a fish house woman, my husband works away.
This song I was talking to somebody earlier, it's a song about a young woman called Sophie Scholl, and Sophie was a founding member of the White Rose movement in Nazi Germany in 1943. And the White Rose movement set themselves up in order to expose the Nazis and what they were up to, and as late as 1943 many Germans had no idea what was being done in their name. And so Sophie and her friends, they published 7 pamphlets which they then distributed all over Germany to let people know what was happening. And she was caught in Munich University, her and her brother and her friend were caught, and they were guillotined by the Nazis within 24 hours. It shows what a threat they considered them to be, but it was too late. The Allies got hold of the pamphlets and they reproduced them in their millions, and they dropped them all over Germany. And so that was kind of the beginning of the end of the Nazi Party. And I was commissioned to write this song. It's called For Sophie.
Walk the university, your suitcase in your hand, and look upon the paved landing. By your brother's side you stand. The voices of the innocents echo down the hall. The flowering truth on paper, Sophie makes the petals fall. The greatest act of love for your country and your friends is to stand up for the righteous cause and give your life for them. You could have lied or made a deal. You could have walked away. The wall of shame would bear your name, and that's too much to pay. These are the eyes of the child you say are in blue, Hebrew, brown and grey. These are the hands that in gratitude pray for Sophie's life on this beautiful day. Sophie lights the candles, Sophie lights the lamps, to free her country, spread the word. Sophie buys the stamps, and in the jail one final kiss, her brother and her friend. To end in terror is better than a terror without end. These are the eyes of the child you say are in blue, Hebrew, brown and grey. These are the hands that in gratitude pray for Sophie's life on this beautiful day. The brilliant child of Germany has turned his mind to war. He hears the windows breaking, but he doesn't know what for. The ghetto's strangely quiet, just the constant trains go by. Sophie takes his hand and Sophie opens up his eyes. These are the eyes of the child you say are in blue, Hebrew, brown and grey. These are the hands that in gratitude pray for Sophie's life on this beautiful day. For Sophie's life on this beautiful day.
Thank you. This is another one stolen from God.
marked. Buy yourself an African to pull that heavy cart. My father always said, son, use your brain. Buy yourself an African, pull that sugar cane. My father was a Bristol man in trade. In sugar and molasses there were fortunes to be made. To gain a place in high society, a man must grow his interest in this golden industry. We headed for the coast of Senegal, with copper cloth and gunpowder, ruddy beads and wool. Then southward to the port of Calabar, where the smell of death hangs heavy and tobacco smoke and tar. And I found myself in Africa. We parted with the Barbary corsair, dagger on his waist and on his face the blackest hair. The captain said the devil's in that man, but God was on our side and we be guided by his hand. And I bought myself an African. If Satan owns the cursed barbarian, and God's with us, then who stands with the wretched African? Abandoned by all saints and gods he seemed, and cast into some nightmare, some forsaken spirit dream. And I bought myself an African queen. And so the day went on, and by the end I bought 200 women folk, and girls and boys and men. The captain said, these bodies that you see, think on them as chattels, like some cheap commodity. And I bought myself an Africans three. Their purpose is to lay before your knee, sanctioned by His holiness, by royalty decree. And it's the right of each good Englishman to keep by your protection and to govern by your hand. And I bought myself an African. I bought myself an African.
So I've since come across Jones the Bones, Die the Dead, Die the Deaf, and my favourite today, Griff the Stiff. These are all real people, and Evans the Deaf, who prided himself on never having buried east of Carmarthen, shines up the old hearse. And off they go down to Portsmouth to pick up the body. And when they get there, they find Dylan has been returned in an American coffin, which of course is considerably larger than the Welsh coffin, and won't go in the back of Evan's hearse. So they take the handles off. That doesn't work. So they take the windows out, and eventually they manage to cram the coffin. This is all absolutely true. They manage to cram the coffin into the back of the hearse, and then Catelyn, overcome with grief, decides she needs to go on a 2-day pub crawl back to the hearse. Catelyn was also a fierce drinker herself. So, and this is pre-current licensing laws. So there's a pub every pre-motorways. So there's a pub every 300 yards, and off they set. Catelyn and her mate up in front in the Morris Traveller. Evans the Deaf following closely behind, wind blowing through his quiff. And they head up the A roads there. And after a while, a few tears, a bit more driving, heading towards Wales. And then after a bit, Catelyn turns to her mate and she says, I haven't seen Evans for a while. He's getting a bit nervous. He's got Dylan in the back. And don't worry, he's an undertaker. He's slow, but he'll get there. So have another beer. So she has another beer, a few more tears, a few more miles, gradually inching their way towards Wales. Then after a while, Catelyn turns to her mate once more and she says, I'm getting really worried now. We haven't seen Evans for ages. And he's got Dylan in the back. We can't lose the poet. So okay, we'll call the police. So they ring up the police, and the police find Evans parked up just near Exeter. I don't know what your geography's like, but we have Portsmouth, Exeter, Wales. So when they ask Evans how he managed to go so far off course, he answers, bloody hell man, nobody told me the country forked. It's a great story. It gets weirder and weirder. And as far as I know, it's not written down, but I got this from the son of Dylan's executor. So this actually happened, and it's very bizarre. Anyway, so this is the song. It's called "Leaving Alabama." It has a chorus, which you're very welcome to join in if you fancy. On the bar, talking to himself. He points a bony finger at the whiskey on the shelf. Fill her up, he says, looks like you and me tonight. 'Cause I'm leaving Alabama, yes I'm leaving Alabama in the morning light. Recognize your face, the barman pours another dram. You're that singer off the radio, the lovesick blues man. The man dips in his cowboy shirt, pulls out a cigarette, says I'm leaving Alabama, yes I'm leaving Alabama, got so much to forget. Just then the bar door opens, the Welshman stumbles in. He says, can someone tell me what time the show begins? The barman eyes the skinny man, but he just turns away. He says, I'm leaving Alabama, yes I'm leaving Alabama, there'll be no show today. I'll settle for a whiskey then, the Welshman grabs a chair. If you're looking for salvation, you won't find it there. You won't find it in a woman, you won't find it in a rhyme. So I'm leaving Alabama, yes I'm leaving Alabama.
Man says my name's Hank Williams, or Mr. Lovesick Blues. You sound just like that poet I heard on the evening news. Man says my name is Dylan, but I never wrote a song. If you're leaving Alabama, leaving Alabama, if you're leaving Alabama, will you tell me what went wrong? Well, I must have wrote 1,000 songs, the skinny man replied, about whiskey garden women, and I never ever lied. The poet said I did the same in this world to survive. If you're leaving Alabama, leaving Alabama, if you're leaving Alabama, means you won't get out alive. They talked and drank the whiskey, Dylan boasted 16th Street. Hank said you can do better, you won't have long to wait. Arm in arm and best of friends, they stumbled through the door. They were leaving Alabama, leaving Alabama, they were leaving Alabama, when the barman swept the floor. Leaving Alabama, leaving Alabama, they were leaving Alabama, and the barman closed the door.
I'm standing there, and this bloke comes up, and he's dressed in an evening suit. He's got a little dicky bow tie, and he's got patent leather shoes, and his hair's all slicked down, and he's really tall. And he comes and stands, and he just stands there next to me like this. I thought, oh, security, how did that happen? And he just waits, and then his partner comes and joins him, and she's wearing an evening dress, a black evening dress, and high heels, definitely not dressed for the folk club. And so they stand and they wait, and after a moment, space presents itself, and he leans over very politely and he says, "Hello, Reg, how are you doing, mate? My name's Bob." I said, "Hello, Bob, I'm all right, thanks, mate. How are you?" He said, "I'm all right, Reg. Are you going to be doing that song, 'This Is England'?" I said, "Yeah, of course, Bob. No problem. I'll do that song for you. But if you don't mind me asking, well, I think you probably mean that song, 'England Green and England Grey.'" I said, "Yeah, that's right. This is England." Bob's not the sort of person you say no to. And so I said, "All right, Bob. No problem. I'll do that. But yeah, if you don't mind me asking, what brings you to this palace of folkdom in the Dales? You know, you don't look dressed for the part." And he looks around, conspiration, he leans over and he says, "Well, Reg, I was going through the yellow pages looking for car registrations, and your name came up." You don't have to make it up first. It's all out there. So this is the song, England Green and England Grey. Once again, it has a bit of a chorus. I'll start with the chorus. This song has been banned by the BBC. It's probably the only example of a song that's been banned by the BBC. And then the BBC invite me onto the BBC to sing it. That was a great moment, I can tell you. It got banned. It got banned by BBC Bristol. BBC Bristol. I did their show, and they normally ask you if you're doing a live show, what are you planning to do? You know, so do you have the lyrics? So I had the lyrics with me. I showed them the lyrics, and after about 10 minutes, somebody came back and said, "Would you mind not singing this song on the BBC?" I said, "Why is that?" And he said, "Well, it has issues." And I said, "Well, what issues?" He said, "Well, multiple issues." And it was election month, and they were keen for me not to air my opinions on the BBC. So I said, "Does that mean it's officially banned?" He said, "Yeah, I suppose it does." My mother would be so proud. And then about 3 years later, I was invited onto Mark Radcliffe's show on the very BBC to sing this song. England green and England grey, look out on a summer's day, to all things white and fair and gay. To my home, my love, my England. I believe in dignity, rich or poor, we're all born free. Austerity and slavery, I thought they were behind us. I don't believe the BBC, anarchy or monarchy, or an empire built on piracy. By our history you'll find us. England green and England grey, look out on a summer's day, to all things bright and fair and gay. To my home, my love, my England. For years our women had no say, no right to work or equal pay. God help the crippled and the gay, the fragile flowers of England. Shut the factories, shut their minds, punish those fell on hard times, while they honor them who do the crimes, the greedy men of England. England green and England grey, look out on a summer's day, to all things bright and fair and gay. To my home, my love, my England. How can a man respect a man who sells his house and steals his land and takes the wages from his hand to pay his own expenses? The NHS, our England's jewel, is bartered by Westminster's fool to justify his public school and military defences. England green and England grey, look out on a summer's day, to all things bright and fair and gay. To my home, my love, my England. England green and England grey, look out on a summer's day, to all things bright and fair and gay. To my home, my love, my England. Thank you very much.